Alrighty, sorry for interjecting on this funny recording. If you like my content and want to see more of me, feel free to check me out over on Twitch at twitch.tv/Bajongles1 on Tuesdays, Fridays, and Sundays Pacific Standard Time. And maybe consider checking out my socials of Bluesky and Tumblr at BigWare1 username Bajongles. Um, And now back to your regularly scheduled program. Hello, hello, hello. I am here once again. So anyways, how is everybody? I am going to start the Outer Wilds music now. There we go. We are gaming. This is what gaming looks like. Let me lower this volume a little bit. There we go. How is everybody? I'm trying to sit a little further back from my computer because I've had to deal with lowering my volume in editing due to being too close. Whew. It should be good now. I have a cat in my lap, which stops me from leaning forward too much. As stated, before I continue working on any other pieces, I'm gonna be finishing up the pieces that I already started. That way I can post something nice and presentable onto social media, and also don't have to worry about having like 1,000 unfinished things before the end of the year. So yeah, I'm gonna be finishing up the this Luffy art, and then next week I'm gonna finish up the Figurlin Shanks, and then the week after that I'm gonna finish up the red-haired pirates. And then I'll be able to move forward from there. Yeah, I'll be able to move forward from there, and that'll be very cool and awesome. First, I'm going to take a sippy of water. Something I want to do that I feel like is very needed is doing a Be Right Back screen. Cause I do like doing the like that. That is very nice. I like that. However, it would also be fun to have a dedicated Be Right Back screen that looks pretty neat. So I'm currently working on. I'm going to be working on that. Don't mind me being tired. I'm very eepy. I am become eepy, the goer to bed. Quoted from Robert J. Oppenheimer, the father of going to sleep with a glass of warm milk. I think the size was actually 10, it looks like. Yes. So I've been sort of falling into City Skylines content again. This is a yearly occurrence, and it is that time of year. It's City Skylines time. And then I remembered, hey, I own the game because there was a thing a while back where City Skylines 1 was free for like a week. And I came in at exactly the right time, and now I have City Skylines. So I realized that I could just play it. And I had another interesting thought. But I'm pretty sure I'm not gonna go through with it. I might. It sounds fun. Of doing like Let's Play content The thing is, though, I already have a lot of projects I'm working on, and I don't need another one. I don't need another one right now. It would be fun to do, but that's for another time. Another time. Of like, yeah, doing Let's Play content, thinking about City Skylines. I could also play through all of Castle Crashers and Battle Block Theater in a series, but that would be more fun to do on stream. Finishing up Castle Crashers sometime. Probably in a couple weeks. I think that should be good. Don't know when. Uh, it might never happen. I hope to one day do a series on Ori and the Blind Forest. That would be awesome. Uh, God, there's so much I want to do, and while there's a bunch of time to do it, none of that time is all at once. So I need to take care of my time a little more carefully, which is really difficult because I have executive dysfunction and everything is equally as important all the time, all at once. Because the I have the world building, not M. I have the world building Nightingale Nebula. I have this series of One Piece fan art. I have the other project I'm working on with the engineer, which I need to make more progress on. I should be able to get done with what I need to do first at the end of today. That should be fine. That seems very doable. And I also need to do the be right back screen. So there are a couple things I need to do immediately and stuff I need to get work on, which is an issue because I have so many things I want to do. So fun fact, if I manage to finish the Luffy art uh early enough today, I'll work on progress on the Shanks drawing before the end of stream. I probably won't finish that one this stream, but having progress done will be Gucci. Also, I'm drawing it the sail like this and knowing full well how sails actually work. The reason for that is, man, sails are complicated. It's kind of complicated to keep a sail that is uh that measures in the multiple hundreds of feet staying upright with all of its mechanisms working, especially when there's uh, a very big storm. So there's a complex series of like pulleys and whatsits and doohickeys and all that sort of stuff that actually goes into like what it takes for a sail to function at this scale. There we go. Da 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 da. Da da da. There he is. He is here. Welcome. Here comes the boy. Hello, boy. There he is here. Love that. Love that video so much. It's old now. It's a couple years old. Um, and it's so cute. The here comes the boy. Videos are very sweet. I saw one with like a crocodile, like a like an American crocodile. It was so cute. I love crocodiles and alligators. And also caiman. My favorite caiman is the black caiman because they look super armored. Because they are, I think. I think those are osteoderms. And why are they that armored, you may ask? Well, because they have to deal with jaguars and giant river otters. And jaguars are cool, but giant river otters are kind of Satan. They're probably like the scariest mammals I've ever come across. That is yeah, that's a yikes from me, to be honest. Hmm. Make sure to stay hydrated and if possible have a cat on your lap. Here comes the boy. Hello, boy. There he is. He is here. Welcome. Great, great bit, great bit. 10 out of 10. Hmm. There's also the funny Da Vinci's Notebook song that I've been singing recently. Whenever life's got you down, keeps you wearing a frown, and the gravy train has left you behind. When you're all out of hope, stuck at the end of your rope, with nobody to throw you a line. Word about a thing, got the word on a string. I make the walk in my shoes. And then it just evolves into like I take a look at my enormous penis, and the good comes are coming to stay. Bow up, take a look at my enormous penis. Ba-da-ba-ba. And it's just great song, very funky. Uh, I thought about singing it at karaoke, but I've got to do it next time. I'll do it next time. Once I get it down by heart. Oh, my trouser monster. Very good song. I think if I really practiced, I could be a good yodeler. I don't want to, because that doesn't sound very fun, but I could. I have the voice for it. I also do really good at, like, more melodic songs. Or My Way, Frank Sinatra, 10 out of 10. Regrets, I've had a few, but then again, too few to mention. My friends, I'll say it clear, I'll state my case, of which I'm certain. I've lived a life that's full. I've traveled each and every highway. Was more, much more than this. I did it my way. Like that song is I'm good at that one. I'm also good at If I Were a Rich Man. I thought if I were a rich man. All day long I'd bitty bitty bum. If I were a wealthy man, I wouldn't have to work hard. If I were a bitty bitty rich, idle man, I'd build a big tall house with roofs by the dozen, right in the middle of the town. Finding the roof and the real wooden floors below. One on stairs. Anyways, good song. Good song that I'm good at. A song that I like that I'm bad at and don't know all the words to is Float On by Modest Mouse. Very, very solid song. Very good, very sick. Right, I'm almost to the coloring stage. God, that reminds me. I helped work on a PNG tuber model for one of my friends. And we ended up calling him Potato Jeremy after the "Where I'm from, we call them Potato Jeremies." Where the fuck are you from? Because very, very good bit, very solid bit. Where I'm from, we call them Potato Jeremies. All right, I'm just double checking the line art, and then here we go. How lucky can one guy be? One guy be? I kissed her and she kissed me. And a fellow once said, "Ain't that a kick in the head?" Ba-da-da-da-da-da. Do-do-do, and the sailor said, "Folks, ain't that a hole in the boat? My head keeps spinning, my heart it keeps grinning. This is gonna be beautiful. I'm at the top." Yada yada, don't remember the whole song. It's also a very good song. Very solid, very, very good. One song that I want to know the words for, specifically the Japanese version, the original, because I know the English version, but I want to learn the Japanese version. The original season 1 intro song, "We Are" of One Piece. Wealth, fame, power. Gold Roger, the king of the pirates, had all this and more. Alright, I have an interesting color idea for Luffy here. But you're gonna have to bear with me. I like singing. Singing feels good. My current city and city skylines is currently failing because I'm bad at managing the budget. Uh, so I'm gonna need to like lower the budget for electricity and water down to like 80% when stream is over and I play it again so that I can like start getting positive revenue again so that I can pay for getting the water and power situated for my industrial zone, which means I'll get the industrial zone money. And then I can slowly start to raise the budget for the power again, and then get a coal power plant, or maybe more windmills. Right now, 2 windmills is enough, because I just started. of course, I still have to work on a Be Right Back screen and a logo, which, I'll work on the logo to get that done. Finish the line art, get the coloring in, and then get like a channel PFP logo situated, which I think is gonna just be the same thing but simplified. Uh, I'm thinking the color scheme is gonna be like green and gold because with this whole thing we're taking animals from Brazil and you know those are Brazil's colors. Uh, I think they seem to be Brazil's colors. Based on the flag. Correct me if I'm wrong. You know, the sort of coloring thing I'm gonna do is I'm going to have an overall, like, red overlay layer plus a yellow to purple gradient overlay layer. And then those two will mix together. Plus the overlay layer that's gonna be the flat colors. So it'll allow things to get a little bit funky while still being a bit cohesive. That's sort of what I'm thinking here. With Monkey D. Luffy, future king of the pirates. Hi-oh, hi-oh, hi-oh. I need to gotta go dreaming. Give it up a dreaming. I need to like fully learn the Four Kids dub intro also because hi-oh, gotta go dreaming. Give it up, give it up, give it up, Luffy. Give it up, Zoro. Get it up, Nami. Let me tell you, the person that sang the Four Kids One Piece dub intro was he's still alive, I think. An absolute goddamn legend in my eyes. I watched Four Kids, but never the Four Kids One Piece dub. I didn't get into One Piece until like 2018, funnily enough. But like, you know, of course, I watched Pokemon, which they had the rights for, and Yu-Gi-Oh. I watched Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh. No wonder I like trading card games, I guess, cause damn. Like I was there for these donuts are great. Jelly filled are my favorite. Also, I saw James's titties. I saw them. I don't know how I ended up seeing them, but I saw the episode. I was like, can I just say uh rip James's titties, though his top surgery did go well. I'm happy for him. I know that's not the case because he put on fake titties. But like, you know, it's funny to say his top surgery went well. Let's see. Hi oh, gotta go dreaming. Give it up, give it up, give it up. What dreaming? And then yeah, we are. Dreaming, give it up, give it up, give it up, dreaming. It's Luffy time, time for Luffy, Luffy time, time for Luffy, Luffy time. And then maybe Shanks time later if I do this in a reasonable time frame. Let me tell you, doing streaming is very good practice in talking to myself. Because now I can talk to myself, and then people might listen to me talking to myself, and then interact, and then I won't be talking to myself. I'll be talking to somebody. Not to say that I'm nobody, but more to say that talking to myself isn't the same kind of talking. Sometimes it's nice to have just little chill moments. You just get to kind of relax and while considering the world around you. Because it's usually not a good idea to sort of forget things. To sort of take yourself out of it for a moment. Go on your own little adventure, either physically or in your own mind. You know, like right now I'm going on an art adventure. Let me tell you though, starting streaming is already paying dividends for my artistic abilities. Because I'm looking at stuff from just a couple months ago and going, wow, what I was doing was mid. So you know that means good things. Something about this music makes me introspective in like a very positive way. Which makes me super happy. I love this music, it's so good. Another bit of music I like, but I fear that I will not be able to play on stream, or else Netflix will get me in the night with a funny knapsack, or like a funny burlap sack, is the live-action One Piece soundtrack. God, the composers and like the orchestra that did that music did such a good job, especially with Buggy. Oh, that reminds me, I need to draw Buggy. I'm excited. I'm excited for that, but I need to. It's this is sort of the artistic equivalent of You have to finish your vegetables before you can get to dessert. Is I need to finish these art pieces before I feel comfortable, like, continuing, uh, to, like, other pieces. There we have Luffy, but also I need to do this can before I feel comfortable saving. Okay, let's see. Yeah, saving. Saving's a good idea. Saving's a thing that you should all do if you're working on art right now and listening to me. Save your art. Save it. You're gonna... there's gonna be a time where you regret not saving it. I know this because it's happened to me just this year already, where I forgot to save something and I had to rely on an autosave. Hi. Ma. Hello. My cat just reached out to touch my drawing tablet. Hi. You're so sweet. I love you. Also, sometimes she decides that I'm the most comfortable place to bathe herself, so sometimes I'm her bathtub. It's kind of funky, kind of silly, goofy. Now, here's the benefit of doing this layer like I'm doing, is I can copy this layer, change the kind of layer it is, uh, alpha lock it, or not alpha lock it, whatever it's called, where you're stuck inside of the pre-drawn area, and then do all the other layers that I need to do, uh, in this without affecting the funny, background any. Which means if I do this one thing, it saves, like, hours of work. By hours, I mean, like, 2 hours, which isn't that much time or effort, but, like, that's still time saved. That's still time saved, and that's still very good. I hope to one day reach 50 followers. That'd be fucking sick. I have to get good enough, though. That's sort of the thing, right? Is that it's super unhealthy to expect others to just naturally come in if I'm not any good. So what this process right now that I'm doing is sort of, just moving as I go along and improving and, like, putting myself out there. And the more I put myself out there, the more people are gonna see me. And the more people that are gonna see me means potentially more people that are into my content. The more people that are into my content, the more people uh, stay to watch my content, and the more people that stay and watch my content, which means that I can build a community of people that are really cool and awesome. That's sort of my main goal here, really, is to like create a community, and hopefully one that'll still like interact with each other even if I'm not interacting. Stuff like world building and art and like community events and all that sort of stuff. That won't come until later. Once I have once I have the Discord server like all taken care of, and once there are more people in it, then then I'm thinking of eventually doing something called Multiplayer Mondays. But that won't happen for a bit. That won't happen for a bit. Oh, sorry for moving, Nanos. You might not want to. You might not want to eat that. Yeah, you want out? No, what you schnorfing? My cat's schnorfing something in the air. Hi. I can close this if you want. Now let's go do this and that and one thing that I'm scared of, that I just remembered, is you wanna? Is that measles and tuberculosis are back. They after all the work that we as like people on this entire globe have like joined together to do in eradicating tuberculosis and measles. Fun fact about tuberculosis, it's the human disease. It's been with humanity since forever. What's scary about it is that it could lay dormant inside of somebody for like up to 10 years without any symptoms, and then some accident happens. You want out? You're sniffing the door. There we go. Love you. And then suddenly something happens, like some sort of accident that like messes with your immune system, suppresses it, and then suddenly bam, you're like impacted all at once while it's been like working in your system for 10 years. Or up to 10 years. I think after 10 years it like actually dies out. So like if you think you've dealt with tuberculosis in a community, it can pop back up in a matter of like within a decade. And that's scary. And compared to like common colds and influenzas, tuberculosis has been with humanity since the beginning. It's been the driving factor. And thank you to one of the Green brothers. I forget his name right now. I think the one that's not, yeah, the one that's not Hank. Uh, for sort of bringing me on to figuring this out about tuberculosis. It's like a massive driving force for a lot of human history. Got that, so I'm going to save again. And then when I save again, I'm going to copy layer. I'm going to have that be an overlay layer. And I'm going to have it be sort of this mid-tone maroon. I'm going to make that very large. And I'm going to alpha lock. Don't mind it lagging. I'm waiting for it to continue. Da 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 da. And that's taken care of. So I'm going to. Doing it again? Hi. Yeah, I'm gonna take care of this. Alright, now my cat's just resting on the bed. Very sweetly in front of the space heater. So we have this. And then I'm going to copy layer again. And I'm going to go yellow. Hi, what's going on? Hi. You talk very sweet. Oh, that's why I was smelling ants. There was one on my hand. Rascals. Hey there. Okay, now she's just resting on the floor. Alright, sick. Badass even. Like that one like those images of that puppy drinking the milk out of the bowl and somebody going, "Oh, badass." And now you get to sort of a more bluey like I'll do like an indigo. And then the beauty of all this is I'm gonna have it blend. And the blending will be gradual and awesome. And not only that, but there'll also be the highlights and the shading, which is gonna add some funky dealies. Yeah, there we go. And I'm probably gonna make this like 75. And have You guessed it, another copy. Not of that, of that. However, here's the beauty. If I go, let's say, size 80, and do this color, then it gets interesting. Hi. Oh, yeah. Hi. Oh, yeah, you want my attention? There we go. There we go. There we go, Nanos. Yeah, you might not want to lay on that 5 pound metal bar. That's probably gonna be a bit cold. Da 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 da. Straw hat. Hi. Wait, what you meowing at? Sometimes she meows at the wall and it's concerning. Hi. Not because like she'd be going crazy or something, but because she notices something we don't. Oh, you resting on the ground again? Yeah. Let's lower it down to like, I don't know, 60. So that I can still do a bit of a wider area, but I can get a little bit finer. Hold on, I will be right. Sorry about that, everybody. I'll probably edit that out, that awkward silence out. I accidentally missed uh, my therapy appointment today, so I rescheduled it. Uh, I forgot that I wasn't gonna stream today, so I'm streaming instead. Um, Hopefully I'll remember that now it's next week. Next week, Tuesday, I won't be streaming because of therapy. I'll very much need to remember that. Let me get this down to like 50. Is also to like, no, 75 was good. I'm thankful for this most recent crit update that I have, because now it allows me to properly do overlay layers. I couldn't do them as easily before on the version I was using, which was over 2 years old. Oh my. I hadn't updated crit up for a couple of years because I liked the version that I was using. But it turns out that it's been getting better that whole time. Funny how that works. Funny how updates are supposed to work. Looks at every Adobe product, smiles so neatly. And I can get this. Wrong one. There we go. This color gradient deal that's happening here is on purpose. Is on purpose. Let me get to like 40. And then I can clean this up. Actually, no, let me get to like 20. 20's a good size. What I love about overlay layers, shout out to them once again, is that you don't actually have to be super complicated about what colors you use. You can do simple colors, but then the more you know, lay over, thus overlay, other simple colors to it, the more interesting you can make it. And that's before you also do shading, which sometimes does funky things with the hue of everything. Which I found out when working on skin on another character, like on another character's piece, is sometimes doing the shading, the way I do it, adds a little bit of funky color artifacting, which actually works really well. It is a very nice little secret bonus. So let's hope that that happens on this piece, on this one piece. So right now there is no shading, but there will be. Oh boy, there will be. That's why I did that gray layer, so that I can have that uh be the shading. But why was I just doing the Among Us music? The ba da 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 dum ba da dum bum bum bo do 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 ba da do 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 ba da 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 boo do 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 boo do 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 boo do 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 do. You see the benefit. You see the benefit of overlay layers is you get to do some funky shit. You get to do some funky scheisse. Sorry to any German viewers, my German accent is atrocious. I need to work on it. I also need to learn German, just in general. I want to learn the language. I want to learn it because it's a very underrated, pretty language. Same with Icelandic. Icelandic is also an incredibly pretty sounding language. And also, y'all over there in Iceland still use the letter thorn, and I'm jealous because we got rid of it, even though, you know, it would be very helpful and descriptive uh, in our, in our script. It would be super sick, actually, if we, like, went back to that. I might start doing that because it's still an option on on, like, my phone keyboard. Just as, like, an act of protest on all of English. Like, hey, give it back. Give it back. We had one letter for the th noise. We also had another for the voiced th, the noise. We had another one for that too, and we should bring them back. I think in Scots, like in the Scots language, y'all like also still have Thorn. So I'm a bit jealous. I'm a bit jelly. No. You want out? You want out, or you want? Do you want up, or do you want up? Ah, you want up. That's what you wanted. Hi, welcome back to my lab. Yeah. I hope y'all can hear her on the mic. She is very cute. She also purrs very loud. And again, I hope it pops up. Let's raise this up to 30. Not too much, but also not too little. Okay, that's only a slight difference between those two colors when going through a couple overlay layers. Good to know. I mean, the overall effect of this is a very orange color. Like, just in general. It's like, a yellow overlay and a red overlay. Of course, it would be a very, of course, it would be a very orange, color in general. It's just a shame how similar they are, with the overlay. Da 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 dum bo do dum da 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 dum ba da 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 dum da 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 dum da 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 da. Da 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 Luffy. Ba da 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 da. Is this the wrong there? Yes, this layer is one I forgot. There we go. There we go. That's a bit fixed now. And I can just kind of fix that a little tiny itty bitty bit. That doesn't matter any because that's just gonna be changed anyways. Like really. Like that on this layer it's all gonna be changed because this is the color layer. The layer where I add color. It's not white. It's a bit of a light gray really, so that's what I'm gonna Yo, the engineer, how's it going? I'm finishing up a piece I started doing for my One Piece fan art series, which I'm gonna be doing until they're all done, and then I can continue on it. How's it going? Also, again, I like the art piece you or the art pieces you sent me earlier. All right, no, I'm understanding. I'm the understander. I get what I need to do here. This is already the color I kind of need. So I can just sort of, yeah. Oh, sick. Is it the same world or is it a new one? It's a world with ah. Yeah, tell me more about the stuff you've been working on. I've done an art piece or I'm doing an art piece on the side of the kobold, but I'm not happy with the body that I've given it, so I'm gonna change it. I'll send it after I finish up the logo, because all I need to do is a little bit more line art, some more detail, and then coloring, and then it'll be good. Um, let's start in that order. That seems like as good an order as any. The origin mythos would be a good place to start. See, and I need to fix this. What if I did 33? 33 is good. Oh, That's a shame. It kind of looks better without it, and I don't like that because I want to have this sort of warm to cool gradient. If I do it all the way here, it's a bit strong. If I do 75, it's like that. If I do 50, it's like that. And if it's at 33, it's like this. But if it's at... I kind of like it at 25, actually. Uh, Basically, there was once a god called Progenitor. He was a cosmic entity that wanted to simply create handcrafted entire universes so everything would be perfect, but he couldn't bear the fact he could never experience his own world. The sheer scale of his lifespan driving him insane, and as so he erased his own memory, becoming Oath. Interesting. Wrong layer. Wrong color. Yeah, that's that sort of idea of the curse of immortality, like reaching things that were born immortal, is super interesting. Let me get through these and then. So, by the way, why is he called Oath now? Like, progenitor makes sense because, like, he was creating things, but Oath. Now, Oath is interesting. Da 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 da. Uh, okay. I'm trying to get it all situated in my mind. So he could feel himself like losing it, and so he became Oath. Is what I'm gathering. Ban. Another. Cheap viewers. Bot. Ban. Yeah, he was growing mad from sheer scale of his age, so he started fresh his oath, keeping only his promise. Ah, And I suppose that leads pretty organically into what the current state is. Ar- Arthur Pendragon? Like King Arthur? Ah, alright, makes sense. You know, it makes sense that whales would exist in every fantasy setting in some variety. Ruler of Iberia. Isn't the Iberian Peninsula like Spain and Portugal? Like this isn't a critique. It'd be really interesting if it was like an alternate version of Earth. This is more of just like a question. I'm seeing flaws in this art, but I don't want to solve them. Yeah, and that doesn't really, well, that kind of helps. It's an alternate Earth. Huron's empire started from Spain, but his empire of Dragonborn spread so far as to Britain, which is where he sits exiled in the north. Interesting. So he was defeated and now he's in exile. Also, can I just say it's very funny how many times in human history people have been like, all right, what's worse than death? What would be a worse punishment than death for this horrible person? I know. Exile them to England. Listen, the natural environment of England, like without human intervention, is actually very gorgeous and is, believe it or not, a temperate rainforest, which is like my favorite ecosystem. However, the British people over their history decided, let's get rid of all that. And so they did. And so there's a lot less redeemable about England. There we go. Now I can see that gradient coming into play. There we go. That's a funky blue. Uh, Yahron was exiled. He lost the duel he set up. Yahron has to live in the north of Iberia for however long it takes, but he duels Pendragon every 10 years, and if he wins, he reclaims his empire. Why not just kill him? Why doesn't Pendragon just kill him? Like this seems a lot of hassle. Like there must be a reason that he's like, no, I'm not going to kill you, even though I have to fight you every 10 years, or else you like get it back. Like, can he not die? Ah, okay, that makes sense. All right, so that's why he can't just go, I kill you. And so now, like every 10 years, they have to fight. Is Pendragon also immortal? Because eventually, if he's not immortal, somebody else has to take up the mantle of the person that fights Charon, right? Like at some point, which would be interesting storytelling of like, my son, it is my son. I am now old. It is now your duty to fight this dragon god for your whole life, and then train up your son forever and ever. No, because he's a creature of immense pride and begs to be worshipped, so he has to defeat the Pendragon family or else he doesn't fulfill his ego. As opposed to the Eggman slash Robotnik vibe of a dub is a dub is a dub. Don't you feel bad that you weren't the one to kill Sonic? Nah, a dub is a dub. Alright, 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 now that's interesting. Like, what happens if, like, the Pendragon family line just sort of ends naturally? Because sometimes that happens. Sometimes families just kind of, like, cease. And it's like, nothing really caused it. It's just, I guess they either married off to other people and became, like, a different group, or they just kind of like, I don't know, uh, kind of died. There we go. That's the problem. That was the problem. There was no gray underneath. I have found more problems. This is what doing layers like this helps me do. Is it helps me find problems in my coloring. What are the rules of Iberia? So while that's unlikely, failure to show up to the sacred duel grounds by summer solstice would mean whoever showed up has won. I imagine that also means that there have been times where like they have tried to go, all right, how do we stop this dragon motherfucker from coming? How do we stop him from getting here in time? Right? Like there also has to be like that thought has to have crossed their mind sometime. Even if it's like, no, we can't, we have too much honor. Like, the thought has to have crossed their mind. Here we go, Ken. Bye-bye, love you. Wrong one. And they can't. Arthur made a deal that they must face each other honorably. Yahron can't pull any funny business, but Pendragon also can't. Otherwise, the deal is off, and Yahron can torch the whole kingdom down. All right. Imagine there's just one time where it's like, I kind of just don't want to deal with you. And then the deal's off. Like, that's probably not gonna happen, but imagine if. That would be kind of a funny scenario. I forgot a button. I forgot an entire ass button. I need to draw it now. Alright, so that's probably a size 10 brush. Paint layer 3. Oh, no, it's all good. Yeah. Get button situated. This is definitely a very warm-toned piece, and I'm happy about that, because Luffy is a warm-toned individual. He, if he was real, he'd be Brazilian too, which is incredibly based. Let me raise that to 40 so that I can just sort of. There we go. Came back also, Ihran had the kobold that worships Sumalo called the Kriv. I don't know how to pronounce that, but I'm gonna say it's Kriv. Because that's very fun to say. And you know how fantasy works. If it's fun to say, that's how you pronounce it. He doesn't really like Kriv, but he has a primal need to worship. All right. Also, how much do you know about One Piece? Because I have a little fun fact for you. That he can like transfigure living beings, so for fun he just transforms travelers into. Ah, you know very little. So, fun fact: the author Eiichiro Oda uh like stated if the Straw Hat Pirates were in the real world, what their like nationalities would be. And fun fact for you down there in Brazil, Luffy is Brazilian. Very cool and awesome. And I think there's a dub out there, like a One Piece dub out there, where it combines like the different dubs to show like them talking in all of their native languages. So like Frankie's speaking American English, Robin speaking Russian. Huh. I mean, he'd kind of be encroaching on Frankie's turf a little bit with the Glock. Man, I'm gonna get to drawing Frankie eventually, and that's gonna be a fun time. Okay, your sandals are the same color as the straw hat, which means that they end up looking very similar in tone to your feet. I mean, I guess Luffy is the idea of a Brazilian from the vision of a Japanese man. Uh, let's see, but Yahran just wants to be worshipped. Being a god is no fun without followers, so he will often just lobotomize travelers into silly kobolds for his own. That's fun. That's very fun. That feels very Aboleth to me. Like Aboleth from D&D. It feels very them to me in like the best way. Why I specify from D&D is because I don't mean Aboleth from Star Wars. Let me see what that color would look. Oh, that's a pretty color. Another pretty color would be this. Let's see how this goes. Yes! Good color. You. Snaps, just points. You. Snaps fingers kobold now. Like, I'm imagining a horrific, like, body, like, Cronenberg-esque, like, body transformation, but instead of a horrible monster, it's just kobold by the end. It's two size 80. But, you know, that sort of brings me to the idea I like with like fantasy deities of they are powered by worship. That's basically what he does. And keep in mind he has regular devoted followers even in exile. He just transmutes people because it's never enough worship. Ah, I mean, yeah, of course it's never enough. I mean, he's a dragon. The dragons often they often but not always symbolize like the perceived moral faults that any given like group of people or author believe like is a fault. Like for instance, greed. Greed is a very common one. Pride is another incredibly common one. So like, yeah, of course it's never enough. He's a dragon. Go back up to like 40. Also, fun fact about dragons and dinosaurs. So the reason I'm having like the harpies and the kobolds and in that one world have designs based on as darkids is because I forget what the actual word is, but like as darkid comes from like a Persian word meaning dragon, as far as I know. So it's kind of a funny like, nod to that. Plus, drawing archosaurs is like my favorite thing. Like besides people to draw. Let's see, it looks like it might be gone. Rip in peace. Yeah, rip in peace. Yeah, then you get like, let's say, yeah, a lighter tone like this. And maybe raise it up to 80 again so that you get to be silly. I love this sort of pinky color that's going on. It hurts. It hurts my eyes, but it's very pretty. Rip in peace. I do this. This. We're one step closer to shading. And by one step closer, I mean after this is shading. After shading is very awesome in Pog. It's a shame the engineer left. I was gonna ask more about the setting. At least that's what everything here is telling me. I can't find what I'm looking for. Alright. I was looking for something for just a moment. Now, I can continue on this. Look at that funky color. Look how funky it is and colory. Da, 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 da. But yeah, no, I'd love to hear more about the setting. Let's see. Let well, I this I'm working on this, and it's very cool. This is a very pretty pink. I don't know how it's manifesting as pink so much, but it's pretty. That's sort of the surprise of this whole deal. Is you kind of never know exactly what colors you're gonna get, but they're gonna look good. What overlaying allows you to do is you get to have a cohesive color palette because it adds one color into all the others, which is a concept in actual painting. I forget exactly what it's called, but it's a thing that a lot of artists who paint do is they sort of mix a little bit of one color into all the others to make it a bit more cohesive. Alright, there we go. We have the colors. I repeat, we have the colors. Now we get to shade. It's shading time, said the shader as they shaded all over the place. Let me resize my brush to like 20. 20 sounds, or no, 30 sounds like a good one. 30 sounds like a very good one. There we go. And then we add that little rim of, continuing to be a lighter tone, and then we'll even add a bit of rim lighting, and then it'll be sick and golden. Man, that's just the plot synopsis of Elden Ring is it's sick and golden. It is a sickness. God, I love that. I love the video of that like African preacher. Where like talking about gay people, just like it is a sickness. It it it's in the same area of my mind as it's a sickness of the mind. You see, unbeknownst to him, Gary is a homosexual. It's a sickness of the mind, and it's highly contagious. It's Rick and Morty time. God, that's also really funny. The a whale, a whale, a whale, a whale, a whale. Well, it's Rick and Morty time. The Elvis Rick and Morty bit is kind of funny. Not like the bit about Elvis in Rick and Morty, but like the funny meme. Well, it's Rick and Morty time. Yeah, it's Rick and Morty time. And here we go. Doing in the shading now is very pog. Yeah, Rick and Morty time. And now the end is near, and so I face the final curtain. My friend, I'll say it clear, I'll state my case, of which I'm certain. I've lived a life that's full, I've traveled each and every highway. Much more than this. I did it my way. I'm actually gonna undo that. Or what is a man? What has he got? If not himself, then he has not to say the things he truly feels, and not the words of one who nears. The record shows I took the blows and did it my way. Make that much smaller, oh my fucking god. This is what I mean by, like, it gives me funny little overlay artifacts. Look at that pretty color. It's sort of in the middle of these two, and it's very much more red somehow. At least to my eyes. Yeah, to my eyes, that looks a lot more red in the middle, and that is exactly what you want. Depending on the skin color. That really depends on the skin color, I shouldn't assume. But for what I'm doing, that's what I want. That is not how I want the teeth to be done. Okay, if the sun is coming from there, there's still bounce light. But the thing is... Okay, I need it to... Okay, I need this shading to not be quite as, like, stark. Yeah, that's a good... Yeah, there we go. And then the starker shadows can happen later. Now, the beauty of this shading is that it softens when you blend it. And then later on, you can also add highlights. And then, depending on the way you do it, yeah, depending on the way you do it, you're golden. Yeah, if I get that and then do sort of in the middle there. I can do that sort of shading. And somehow it turns yellow. I don't like that, though. I don't like that shading. So what I'm going to do... Okay, it has to be in between that and that, so... That? That doesn't do anything? Why? Was I using the wrong brush? I think I was using the wrong brush, guys. And then you do like so. I like this a lot better. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I like that a fair bit. What happens with this color? It's a little bit darker. Mm, mm, yeah. Oh, I have an idea. I am having an idea, and it's a little bit of a funky idea, but it's an idea, and I'm having it. What if behind the hat, I started with it being default in shadow, like that, and I get to fade out the shading like this. You see, the beauty of doing art, as much as I'm trying to do it, is that no matter what, you're going to learn something about art. And learning something about art is how you improve. So if you just keep going at it, you, you will always improve. I already think I could do a bit better on the front of like the line art on this, like even just compared to what I can do now versus like this, which was only like maybe a month ago. Wait, no, I want to smooth this out a little bit, but not get too fine with it, because that makes it feel sort of like a textured material. At least that's what I'm thinking. There we go. I'm kind of digging it. Kind of dig it. Turns out, yes. Yes, I can. I need to find the middle color now, though. There's the middle color. I do something special with his eyes and his smile. For those One Piece knowers, you understand. I could do that, or I could keep it like that, and that's kind of fun. Yeah, that's kind of fun, and if I do this kind of deeper shading like this, then that's how the magic happens. You know what they say, teamwork makes the dream work. Let me undo that so I can do this at a better direction. Like this is... Now we're cooking. Actually, why do I like that better? What about my brain is telling me this is right? Da, 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 da. Yo, morning. How's it going? I'm finishing my Luffy drawing because I want to, finish up the drawings I started before I continue on them. This is my progress. I decided to do a funky gradient on Luffy, and it's certainly turning out, and I hope it's turning out good. I like it. Fana, how you doing? Ah, well, make sure to wake up all nice. I've woken up awful sometimes, and that just kind of ruins your whole day. Ah, let's see. How am I gonna do this shading? Here we go. I think. I think this is the proper move. That should be right. Give Luffy a deagle. Maybe another time. There's another drawing I need to finish sometime eventually with Luffy in it, and I could give him a deagle. Actually, I'll save that side for a bit. Oh no! Oh no! No. I'm gonna give him 2. Pell feels like a 2 Deagle sort of guy. That's not until we get to Alabasta. Caw, motherfucker. Another funny person to just give a gun is Big News Morgan. It's like he's one of my favorite like non-Straw Hat characters. But also like Big Bird with Big Gun. A classic combination. Oh, yes, perfect. Yeah, that's actually how he gets out all his newspapers. After after all the news coups decided to unionize. I went, fine, I'll fucking do it myself, and started shooting people with newspapers. I'm pretty reasonably happy with how this hand has turned out. It's quite good. Quite a good hand. Quite a master hand, if you will. Okay, I don't like that shading. I'm gonna do that. There we go. Now it's back to being Gucci. I sure did. I sure did do a good hand job. Uh, sure did. Something I learned while practicing shadows is that real life shadows are kind of cell shaded. It's just you need to get the right shapes and then sort of blend them a little bit, and then you have like there you go. There's shading. Shading in real life is often quite simple. Which one was this? Yeah, it's this one. Alright, there we go. Oh, let me look up what that one looks like. GAU 8 Avenger. Rotary cannon. You know what? You know what? I fully believe that Shiki could hold and wield one of these. I don't care that the bullet is the size of her forearm. That's the point. That's why she's wielding it, cause it's so fuck off big. Or not she. Shaki is the woman. Shiki is the golden lion. Sorry. No, yeah, no. No, even less issue because he could just float it. Shiki the golden lion could probably wield like 20 at the same time. Now that's a fight I want to see. Luffy versus Shiki with with 20 GAU 8 Avengers. I hope we get to see him in the story cuz like he's cool. I like him. Listen, giving Kuzan a tiny squirt gun would honestly be too powerful for him. He could do anything with it. It's water. He could turn it to ice. That's really strong. It would be more of a nerf to give him an actual like round firing gun. Hmm. I mean, he already does have guns though, right? Like he has those three pistols. Who's to say they don't fire black holes? Wow, God, this is great. This is going pretty great so far. I love that I accidentally uh I accidentally made Luffy like Arizona sunset colors. There we go. Based. Look at this man. Behold him. That's already pretty dark shading, actually. I don't need to do it. Actually, I could do more. I could do even more shading. Like on his nose or something. No, too dark. Nah. You know, it's nice. The more I practice, the better I get. That's just sort of the way of the world. So people who say that they're not good at art, go make shit. Go make art. The only way you're gonna get better at art is if you make art. Go do it. Giving Blackbeard a BFG would be very funny though. Just a big fucking gun. There we go. Another character that would be fun to give a gun would probably be who's who what's the name of that the Tuntata guy, like the main one, the one who becomes a captain in the Straw Hat Grand Fleet. Giving him a gun would be very funny. What time is it? It's shading time. I did the shape not how I want it. There we go. I think. I'm probably gonna not like this in like 5 minutes. Or less. I don't like it anymore. It is a massive shame how that works. I'll find something that looks good. And then it'll look good long enough for me to finish the piece. Yeah, I think doing the shading in sort of a more radial way here would be interesting. I think this is interesting. At the very least. It's very interesting to me. How does this feel darker than this when it's the same? It's not the same color! That's why I have to completely undo all this, because that's too dark. Color theory. But hey, that's just a theory, a color theory. Thanks for watching. I'm imagining Bob Ross saying that. Like, but hey, that's just a theory. A color theory. Thanks for watching. Like, he wouldn't. Because that's not a thing he said. Rest in peace, Bob Ross. But, you know, it's funny. Let me see. Size 30. And then you get this situated. You kind of get that shape. The darker shading should be supplementary, like in the neck here, I think. But hey, that's just a theory, an electromagnetic spectrum theory. Thanks for watching. The fact that mantis shrimp don't actually see more colors than we do is a shame. They just have more cones. It's like when I found that out, oh boy, that was sad. Because they can't see shrimp colors. Shrimp colors are fake. It was just a lie created by Big Shrimp. I'll get there later. I don't care. Epic Game Launcher, be gone. And I need to get this situated in the right way. There we go. Dishonor on you, dishonor on your shrimp, dishonor on your shrimp cow. I just remembered through like a whole series of tangents in my mind all at once. A streamer I really like, Salty Jub, is not gonna be streaming for a while because it turns out she has pneumonia. I really fucking hope she gets well soon. Pneumonia sucks. Liquid in your lungs is not a good thing to have. I'm in a family of asthmatic people. I understand how it feels to have something in your lungs, and it's not good. It's very not good. Pneumonia? I hardly know her. Uh, that's that's on the same level of specifically how Grunkle Stan in Gravity Falls does the bit of like, my ex-wife misses me, but her aim is getting better. Like that's sort of on the same line as that, and I am here for it. Two drums and a cymbal fall off the cliff, and at reaching terminal velocity, hit me in the head, killing me instantly. This part should be darker than the rest, I think. Yes. But as I die instantly from the impact. And if I should I do that? I don't think so. I think that shading's better. I think I'll leave the shading at that right there. Now I'm wondering how I'm gonna do the yeah, I wonder how I'm gonna do the clothing because I'm not that amazing at drawing or not drawing on shading clothes. I'll get there. I'll get there one day, but I'm not there yet. That's a decent enough shape. Yeah, that's decent. Let me raise that up to I think that size. Do, 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 do. go. Get this situated. I'm trying to get the right direction. No, I don't want to erase that shading. Ah, that's the same shading. I forgot. It being an overlay, or everything else being an overlay, means that, it's incredibly based. And, I don't need to do dynamic, shading colors. Because it just all does it for me, baby. That's called working smarter, not harder. Although to be fair, I'm working hard too. It's not giving up hard work. It's now I don't have to do constant tedium. I get to do the stuff on repeat that I want to do on repeat, as opposed to having to do stuff on repeat. There we go. I saw this video the other day of like describing my feelings as a professional artist, and it's like, oh, I hate art. Art is my least favorite thing. I hate everything I do. And I have related to that at some point, but right now I'm living large, baby. I feel large and in charge, as the saying goes. In regards to my art, I mean. I feel pretty good about the progress on my art, even if I don't do something that I like. Right now, at least, I can tell that I'm making progress. And at the end of the day, that progress is what matters. It's not necessarily the outcome, because the outcome will be good eventually. This is how the world works. That's how the world works. I'm excited to see if Bo Burnham does anything new. I've gotten news that Bo Burnham is Burnhaming. He's out there. He's up Burnhaming his bow. I don't know what that means, but he's doing something, and I can't wait to see what. Actually, no, he's bowing his Burnham. That's the order of things. He's bowing his Burnham. There we go. I do a bit ruined. Laugh. Classic humor fail. Laugh at user. I love that extra little red that I'm seeing with like the middle part of the shading. That's very nice. That's how some skin works. Not all skin, but some skin does that. So it makes it feel a little more real every once in a while when you just see something happen like that. Sometimes it's as real as it gets. Da, 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 da. Why is it not? Oh, because that's the color. Oh, because that's the color of gray that it already was. Ah. Is this the right color? Yes. Yes, it is. It's just that the red makes the yellow pop out less. I see. I'm understanding. Oh, oh shit. On here though, look at that shrine. Absolutely golden. There we are. And if I do this and fade it in just a little bit, then we have something funky. In a good way. It's a good funky. Sometimes you need to just be able to turn your brain off and do something fun. And that's what I'm doing here. I'm, tr- I'm trying to. I didn't want it. Things are turning out funky in a way that's weird. I can make it work. I can make it work quite well. It's just sometimes things turn out not as you expect, and that's okay. Yeah, like so. And now that I did those buttons, now like the other shading that looked like super cool and stark is now like by comparison not as much. Like damn. Like I said earlier, when I was all by my lonesome here, is that I started getting back into City Skylines, and God, it is I can feel an addiction coming on. Me being that funny penguin from Toy Story. I feel an addiction coming on. So, no, there's a lot of shadow here because of how the leg is raised, based in shading pilled. There we go, based in shading pilled. I actually don't like that line. It should go like that, I think, and down like so. We get a very stark shadow. We get a very stark and very good. Funny geology fact that I just remembered that I learned today is that out of all the mountain ranges in the United States, or what is now currently the United States, The Klamath Mountains and the Blue Mountains in Oregon, and the California Nevada mountains of the Sierra Nevada, uh, all consist of a range of mountain ranges that can rival, not surpass, the Appalachian Mountains are still older, but like they rival the age of the Appalachians, which is super cool. Is fascinating, and that's why in Oregon, that's where most of the caves are the Blue Mountains and the Klamath Mountains, because they're older. Let me get good color. There we go, good color. And also, the deepest canyon in the United States is not the Grand Canyon. It's Hell's Canyon, which is on the border of Idaho and Oregon. So not only do we have some of the oldest, not the oldest, some of the oldest mountains, we also have the 10th deepest lake on Earth, and we have the deepest canyon in the United States. Now you're probably wondering what the 10th deepest lake in the entire world is, and that is Crater Lake, which is a lake that was formed by a caldera. Now, another thing that's fascinating about this lake is that under the ash around the mountain of Crater Lake, we have found the oldest known instance of shoes. Like human shoes. So Oregon also has the oldest known shoes that were found near the 10th deepest lake. We have some of the oldest mountains. And we have the deepest canyon. Oregon is amazing. I love this place. Washington's also great. It's just I go there a lot less often because, like, I don't know, I'd have to cross a massive river to get there, and that's kind of a... That feels less convenient than going like three or even 10 times the distance on the south side of the river. Like, Washington's also fascinating because of like the dried up Ice Age era lake that was there in like northeastern Washington. There's some really cool eroded plateaus that wouldn't have existed without the last glacial maximum. And I suspect they're also why the Columbia is the way it is. Another thing that's fascinating, speaking of the Columbia, is that there is a place in the United States where a creek splits off in two directions. And instead of like one drying up and one like being even more full, it just keeps on flowing both directions on the Continental Divide, which means that ultimately, this creek goes both to the Pacific and the Atlantic, because it goes from the Snake River. No, it goes from that creek to Snake River into the Columbia out to the Pacific. And then on the right side, it goes to Yellowstone River, down to Yellowstone Lake, down to another river, I forget which river, down to the Mississippi, down to the Gulf of Mexico. That's right, I said Gulf of Mexico. Uh, and then to the Atlantic. Our world is fascinating. And people who say that there's no whimsy left don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Because our world is amazing. Thank you kindly, 3 p.m. alarm. Now I know it's 3 p.m. Yeah, no, so the Pacific Northwest region is like some of my absolute favorite out of like anything. And we're on the Pacific Ring of Fire, and we get like hurricanes and tsunamis. Well, technically typhoons, but typhoons are hurricanes. Just Pacific hurricanes. And we have deserts, Mediterranean climate, uh, temperate rainforest, and like beautiful savanna and steppe ecosystems. And we had a bayou. I think we still kind of do have a bayou, like on the Columbia. All in the span that's just like including Washington, like Washington State, is just a bit bigger than Germany. And then a bit further east, if you go into like eastern Montana past the Rockies, you get to the Great Plains, which is gorgeous. Which is another like, steppe plain sort of savanna ecosystem, um, which is making a comeback due to concerted effort, which I'm very happy about. And if you go just a bit north to British Columbia, which is also in the Pacific Northwest, it's just that it's in, you have to cross a country border to get there. You get some of the most beautiful temperate rainforest out there. And and orcas are more common. And if you go just a bit south, you get to giant redwood territory. Right? Like into California. I consider myself super lucky to be in a part of the world where, like, You don't have to go far to see different kinds of ecosystems. Oh, not even to mention the montane ecosystems. Like on the eastern and western Cascades, or like the Rockies, or the Blue Mountains, or the Klamath Mountains, or like on the Columbia Plateau. It's it's all it's all gorgeous. Not to mention the coastal sand dunes, which were the inspiration of the Dune books, or an inspiration. Sorry, saying the inspiration is incorrect. And I would love to say like, oh, I want people to come here, and I do. It would be great for people to be able to come here. We are unfortunately part of a nation where I have to say, yeah, it's not safe to be here, so I don't recommend visiting. Because, I absolutely love to see like even more people from all sorts of different places coming here and just like enjoying the nature. I don't know. I guess this I'm sort of biased because I'm coming from a a sort of not background because it's current, but like a perspective of of being educated in exactly how amazing this part of the world is. Also, Buffalo have been making a bit of a comeback lately, and I hope that keeps going because I would love for Buffalo to be released into the wild again and to like once we have them plus a couple more of the native species, we get to refurbish and sort of fix the Great Plains ecosystem, which is some of the absolute best like steppe ecosystem on Earth. My minus maybe the Serengeti. Minus maybe the Serengeti. Alright, that's what the problem might be. There we go. But, I guess you know, if 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 you're already in this country, you might as well stop by in the Pacific Northwest because it's the best part. I certainly think so. I certainly think it's the best part. Suck it, Southern California. I'm so sorry about your wildfires. Genuinely. I say suck it in like a lighthearted rivalry kind of way. Not in a genuine sort of like I don't like it kind of way. Please be safe out there. I think the fires might be taken care of, but like still. Right? Like I only joke about not liking California. Also, the fact that Trump like got rid of a lot of your water during fire season, like actively, is really, really sucky, and I'm sorry. Also, it turns out that he might not have been what the people vote for because there might have been election interference. In fact, there's good evidence supporting the fact that it was uh, serious election interference, which should theoretically mean that he has to stop being president. But there's a lot of things that he did that should stop him from being president, but don't. Like actively pulling some treasonous shit, you know? That should stop somebody from being able to be elected, but yeesh. At least by his examples, you could come from any walk of life, including a convicted felon, and still become president. Now, anything's possible. I could become president. I don't wanna, because that sounds like a sucky ass job, but I could. I could definitely become president if I wanted. All I'd have to do is some serious election interference. I don't blame the other countries for actively cutting ties with the United States right now, because I would too if I could. And was like the leader of a country. I would cut ties with the US also, let's be real. But anyways, nature. Because I want to talk more about that and didn't know how to transition. Uh, like to talking about nature. Nature is wild. Uh, I'm looking more into it. We also here in Oregon have the largest living organism. It's the honey mushroom. The honey mushroom is ours. I think it could be Washington. And if it's Washington, then what really is the difference between Washington and Oregon? They used to be part of Oregon Territory, and this all used to be native land on what is still Turtle Island. So, what really amounts to what political borders, really? It was all stolen. And still, like, we have the largest organism, and it's a mushroom. Isn't that sick? That's cool as hell. It'd be kind of funny if we took, if Washington and Oregon took, Idaho and Western Montana and just went, we're a country now. Wouldn't that be silly, Goofy? Smiles at camera, waves the Cascadia flag. Wouldn't that be cool, guys? Well, that's what I'm gonna do for the 4th of July. I'm gonna have the Cascadia flag. Because I ain't gonna be patriotic for this fucking country. Are you kidding me? I'm not an idiot. I see the writing on the wall. I hear no see no evil. One by one they fall, black-hearted hero. Not black-hearted evil, brave-hearted hero. All of me I am. Funny shadow moment. I hear no see no evil. I got writing on the wall. One by one they fall, black-hearted evil. Hearted hero, I am all I am, all I am. I am. By the way, I did check. 4th of July is a day that on my streaming schedule. As of now. My schedule might change, it might not. But it's definitely on there now. I almost forgot. There's also oh, I like that highlight. Oh, that's a very pretty color. That's so pretty. I like it. There we go. There's also a lot of green energy stuff going on that's quite exciting. Uh, like China's doing a lot of good work with green energy. Uh, a lot of European countries, especially the Nordic countries, as you probably know, a regular gremlin, doing pretty decent with clean energy initiatives. Uh, some U.S. states are doing pretty good with green energy right now, like Oregon. I will once again brag about my state and decry my country because why not? Why not? I love my state. It's a great place. But like us and Washington and I think also California are doing a lot of good green energy initiatives. I'm quite happy about. I'm quite enthused about. Man, I can feel my art improving. I can feel my brain throbbing in my skull. It's great. My brain is throbbing with power. Interesting thing to do, but I won't do it. On this piece, I might do it another time, is having the shadows, instead of being grayscale like this, turn out to be a warmer tone. Or not a warmer tone, a cooler tone, like a blue or an purple. That'd be cool, and still having the highlights be like this sort of really warmer color. Mhm. There we go. Like so. I'm not trying to rush, but I'm also trying to not go too slowly so that I can keep my progress going at a decent level. Progress is progress, which is good, but I also need to get stuff done. And I would like to have this piece done so I can work on a few more pieces that I need to do for both for working, and also just personal fun art. You know, and I'd consider art done for stream as work, as art for work. 'Cause this is work. I am working. It's just I'm not getting paid yet. But this is work. It just happens to be work that I rather enjoy. I like this a lot. Why are you green? Why are you blue? I happen to enjoy doing this a lot, which is a great, which is a great thing I've found out because I've been wanting to do that, or I had been wanting to do this for a while, and now knowing that I actually enjoy what it is means that I can actually do it for longer. Is there's a lot of stuff that I've wanted to do for a while and then found out that it ain't all that. But this is all that. I'm thoroughly enjoying myself. It is a bit warm in my room though. So I'm probably gonna deal with that once I get off stream, which I think might be at 4. 4 feels like a good time to stop the stream because then I still have an hour before I have to feed the cats. The absolute cutoff point of a stream, I think, is like 5 for me, like my time. Unless I'm able to take a break and go, I'll be right back feeding the cats and come back, but that's not until I sort of build myself up to being able to do longer times. So I think I can stream for 5 hours like easy peasy. It's just that the first couple hours I'm a lot more energetic, and the last couple I'm a lot more chill. It certainly isn't a bad thing. It's just a different vibe going on. It also doesn't help that the music I'm playing is like the chillest music known to mankind. There we go. Da, 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 da. Do, 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 do. I'll tell you what though, I love streaming. Editing is more of a necessity than an enjoyment. Because a surprising amount of video uploading is just like waiting around for everything to like work. Whereas like streaming, it's all me. I'm doing all of this. Oh, and the render time is also like, I mean, it technically gives me more time to do other stuff, which is good. It's good, and I like doing other stuff. I get anxious when I'm waiting for something to happen, which again, not an issue. It's just something I need to work around, and I need to figure out why waiting makes me anxious, because that's a very common thing for people. If you feel anxious by waiting, that's okay. Take it from me, king of anxious waiters. Also, the fact that I did a funny call to action that I recorded and can just slot into a VOD. God, that's a big help. That is a big help. It takes a bit of pressure off my bad memory and allows me to just put that sucker in. I like learning how to make my life easier, not my job easier. Make my life easier. It's like one of my favorite feelings. Like once I save up enough to get a proper PC for like doing this, I'm switching over to fucking Linux because I don't want to deal with Microsoft's bullshit any longer. Microsoft and Boeing are the two worst things to come out of Washington. I think. There might be a worse thing to come out of Washington, but I'm not sure. California has Apple and a lot of other companies, but like especially Apple. So Apple's kind of their fault. We have Nike. We have Nike, which is pretty evil. They bankroll Leica Studios though, which is good. I like Leica Studios. I might want to work there one day. Once like my skills get good enough, I might want to work there because Leica is a huge inspiration. They did Coraline, Box Trolls, Missing Link, Kubo and the Two Strings. They weren't like the people to work on it, but they were contracted to work on Corpse Bride. So like all of these stop motion films were like big. They're big here. They're big events here when they come out. And the predecessor company of Leica before it became Leica was the one that made that like did a lot of commercial work and made the California grapes and the M&M mascot designs. So like those are those are that's a thing. They also they also made the Noid. Because before they did stop motion, they did claymation. Like as whatever studio it was before. They also made the Domino's Noid animations. It's a shame that Neil Gaiman turned out to be a bad person because the movie Coraline was a big inspiration to so many people. Good Omens is such an inspiration. American Gods is great. The Graveyard Book is amazing. Huge inspiration to me as an artist. It's a shame he turned out to be a bad person because like fucking rip. Like, you know what? You know what? People are still allowed to find worth in his work. Right? And no, and the bad person he may be is not gonna stop that. Sort of like how people take inspiration from H.P. Lovecraft. I'm gonna save this now so that in case it's lost, it isn't lost. I don't want to undo all this progress. You know, people have the amazing ability to always find worth in something. I think that's something that needs to be cherished, uh, and like instilled into future generations. Is that you can find worth anywhere. Everything has some sort of intrinsic value to it that in no way is monetary because money's not real. But like, you know, everything has value. There we go. I like how this is turning out. And now we get to the fun part. That's not how I want to do that. I want to do it more like this. That's where the sun is coming from. I get to do this. And then I get to blend it all nice. I'm kind I'm kind of surprised in the shading color. I'm gonna be honest, because I made this part more purple. This part is way more purple. But you know what? The highlights will show what colors are happening. Like so. Exactly. Yes, that's what I meant. That's what I meant by purple. It's kind of purpley. Kind of more pinkish, because it turns out that yellow and purple, when you overlay, kind of turns into more of a pinky color. It'd also be pretty funny if I did like a final like very rim light of just like little tiny specks of the original gradient color as like just a normal layer. That would be fun. Or like having it all be yellow. I don't know. I'll figure that out. That's the beauty of art. It's all about figuring it out, not about knowing. Let nowhere. There we go. Let them all pinkish. There we go. Based. Based and pink pilled. Wrong color. Where I'm from, we call them Potato Jeremies. Where the fuck are you from? That sort of reminds me of how you can tell exactly where Skinner is from because there's a tiny little place in the U.S. where they actually call hamburgers steamed hams. That's a real thing. That is a real U.S. thing somewhere on the East Coast. That is very real. There we go. There we go, lads. That reminds me. It's funny that it's harder to do a funny Jacksepticeye impression now that I watch more Irish people make content. Like I watched this Irish woodworker, and I'm getting better at doing like an Irish accent for like funny D&D reasons. But like it's harder to specifically do like the funny Jacksepticeye reference. And I wonder why that is. When I say better at doing an Irish accent, I don't mean good. I'm not going to say that I'm good at doing an impression. but I'm better than I was. Again, progress. Eventually, I'll get good at a Parisian accent also, but I'm not yet. I'm very not yet. But I'll get there because practice is where the magic happens. I like how I'm gonna say it. You know what? You know what? I'm gonna say it. I don't care that you hurt your elbow. No, I'm gonna say it. I like how this is turning out. Makes me happy to see. Now, if I do this, it makes it look all super shiny like, which is not quite what I'm going for. But if you blend the values, that's the important thing, blending the values. Like this, you get something quite magical. That's, and I'd say this is pretty magical. Art's magic. It's just that we don't realize that it's magic because it feels mundane. So science, from a certain point of view, and I don't mean like hocus pocus, like turn a man into the frog kind of magic. I mean like it's wondrous. It it is a wondrous thing, both like art and science. They are magical. And people sometimes don't realize you can get anything you want out of something. So like there is a sort of spirituality to science in a way. And that's a oh, that would be an interesting like faction like for a world building project. Oh, that would be super interesting. Like scientists that have sort of a spiritual experience with like the act of discovery. That'd be super fascinating. Oh, I love the pinky color. It's something I try to do, but I find it not always working. Is that I want to try and not focus so much on patriarchal concepts of what what quote unquote makes up a man, because I don't want to care. I don't think I should have to care. Because like gender's complicated and gender expression is even more so. So like, why does it really matter? Why should it matter? The convenient thing about starting at noon Pacific Standard Time for me uh is that I can look at the clock and automatically know how much time I've been streaming for without doing any calculations. Oh, I've been at it for like 3 hours 49 minutes. Like looking at the 3 hours 50 minutes. Like roundabout. It's just a lot less math. It's a lot less math in my brain, and less math in my brain is good because I'm saving the math for something useful. I'm saving the math for Sunday. Why am I saving it for Sunday, you may ask? Because I'm gonna try and like stream my progress, and not my progress, but like yes, my progress. I'm gonna be trying to stream me learning how to properly like program a game on Sundays for a bit. That's not gonna be like every Sunday. That might not even be most Sundays, but that's definitely gonna be on Sundays. Because I want to make that platformer first before I go on to any other games. Like there's this game that I wanted to make with a friend that is a 50-hour walking sim where it is the goal is to add in the absolute, like literally the bare minimum amount of gameplay, like actual gameplay you can put into it and still make it engaging at 50 hours long. Like it's more of a proof of concept than anything, or like more of a concept than anything. But that is a game idea that a friend and I have had that I want to make sometime. It's just a platformer sounds like a good place to start, since like I grew up on platformers. New Super Mario Bros. Wii was like my first actual game, like my first actual video game. Platformers are very special to me. Popping my back because I'm an old man of 21 years old. I am absolutely ancient. I am an absolutely ancient 21 years old. Oh, oh, the highlighting is even more purple. Purple highlighting. Look at that. It's purple time. Purple is a funny word, but I hope it doesn't replace like the proper word of like purple just because it's one letter easier to say. because I don't know. I don't know. It feels weird. It feels like a weird word. I like using it because it's funny, but that's the thing about a lot of vocabulary words that are staples now. Not staples now, but they're a lot more common now. They started off as just funny, and now they're part of people's lexicon. Something I like doing, unrelated. Something I like doing, is watching back the VODs of streams where I do art, and I'm able to see the actual amount of progress that I have on a piece. Because I can't feel right here just how much progress this is. But if I look back on it, I'm probably gonna be like, whoa, I did a lot in such a short amount of time. Not as much as Drock. Although Drock is a lot older than me by like I think a decade or two. Definitely a decade. I think he's in his 30s. So like he has that extra level of experience to draw faster than I do. Same with Salty Jub. Again, shout out to her. Check her out. Follow her. If you can, she's great. It's a shame that my stream time, when she does stream, 'cause a couple of the times overlaps, which means that I can't watch her stream uh every day that she does because she's amazing. Am I giving free advertising to somebody I enjoy the content of? Yes, absolutely. This is free advertising for Schnalty Schnub on Twitch. Uh, Salty Job. Very good. Sorry if I sound like I'm zoning out. I kind of am. Not in a sleep way, but in like a focus way. I want to finish up this highlight before I end stream. By finish this highlight, I don't mean like finish the entire highlight. I mean finish this portion. Before I do the funny programming stream on Sunday, I'm probably gonna see about if I have the latest update or if I should get the latest update of Godot. Because by the way, I use the Godot engine. Free open source software is my go-to. I use Krita for drawing. I use Blender for right now video editing, but I want to do more with it. And I'm going to be using Godot for game engine because we need to support open source software. It's the positive future we need, I think. That's my take on it. Yeah, I like this. I like this a lot. That was a weird noise that I just made. Yeah, no, I like how this is coming out. I'm gonna save this and then I'm gonna go over to just chatting. So that I can end stream and do the funny ending read. I have been Bajongles. You can find me over on Bluesky and Tumblr at BigBoyArt1. The username is Bajongles, with the same profile picture. Uh, I stream over here on twitch.tv/bajongles1 at Tuesdays, Fridays, and Sundays at noon Pacific Standard Time. And I release VODs uh, of these streams a week after the stream. So they are usually out at the same time I'm streaming. You can find that over on YouTube at Big Bear 1 once again. Uh, channel Bajongles. Uh, and it has been a great time streaming. I will catch y'all on Friday. Bye bye.